G'day, here's the news. G'day and welcome to my channel. Just a quick video today. It would be 6 months ago now. I went to the Bintani Trade Day where they discussed new products for brewing, for commercial brewing and for home brewing. And one of the products they discussed and had on display was Tritordeum. Now Tritordeum is a naturally bred hybrid, so between a wheat and a barley. That is the Tritordeum. Cadiz, one of the capital cities of the mythical kingdoms of Atlantis, was and still is a haven of sweetness and surf. Cadiz Sweet is made with 100% Tritordeum and provides brewers with a unique malt featuring a distinctive nutty and biscuity flavour profile, and I get a bit of honey out of it too. The Tritordeum cereal is a non-GMO cross between wild barley and durum wheat. Tritordeum is a unique hulless grain which inherits beneficial traits from its parental species such as disease resistance, abiotic stress resistance, that's drought, heat and salinity, and nitrogen use efficiency. Tritordeum is a great fit for organic farming and is currently thriving in the hands of passionate farmers throughout Europe and Australia. Our selected Tritordeum can provide a unique combination of high enzymatic power and high extract with the benefit of low beta-glucans. Tritordeum has a record high gluten content, that's 10 times the amount of wheat has, which greatly contributes to the flavour profile and pigment of our Cadiz, the sweet malt. I mentioned earlier it was 6 months ago. It took me a little while to get a bag, but since then I've brewed at least 3 beers with it, maybe more, but I'll go and get them now. See the 3 beers there. Alright, we have the 3 of them here. I've been sitting here a while taking footage and things and just making sure I get the stats right when I go through them. The first one I brewed was this, and I called it an Australian Golden Ale. I used Australian Cascade hops. It's a nice light in colour. It was 50% an ale malt, Atlas I think it was, Voyager, and 50% Cadiz. And just a light hopping. I really wanted to try and see if I could taste it in there. And it's nice. I really get a honey from it. They say it's more nutty and bready, at least mixed with the little bit of Australian Cascade. I didn't dry hop it. I put in 20 grams of Cascade at 60 minutes and 30 grams of Cascade at 5 minutes. But it's just a nice, really dry lager. And it's quite clear. There's a slight haze, as you would expect from a beer. It looks crystal clear there on the screen. But there's a slight haze, as you would expect. You know, if you did a wheat beer, a 50-50 wheat beer, even though this isn't wheat, it's very similar. All right, the next one I brewed was this one here, and as you can see, it's got a lovely, that was nearly 100%. I think the only difference was 500 grams of oats. Just to make sure I was making a hazy, I wanted to make sure it was going to stay hazy. And as you can see, this is a few months old now, and it is, you know, it's as thick as you'd want it. That was with Nova Lager. This was with high voltage yeast, which I'll do another video about that altogether. So as you can see, it makes a very cloudy beer. None of these beers here, this hazy here or this hazy here, would dry hop during high Krausen. I don't really do that anymore. Unless I'm brewing somebody else's recipe and they ask me to. But these were all actually dry hopped right at the end of the ferment. Now, this one here, the third one, I cut back again and went back closer to 50-50 with a little, with 500 grams of oats as well. They both were similarly hopped. Slight difference, I didn't have quite the same hops to do them both, but they were made relatively the same. This was a different yeast. This is the Pomone yeast for Lallman, so I can do a bit of a judgment between the two. They look very different there, don't they? But you can see it can give a real nice golden colour. This is so heavily hazy, you can't really see it. And this is just a nice light, I'd call it a light honey colour. So I've enjoyed using it. These beers are good, grain-wise. There's a few differences in yeast that I'm going to talk about, as I said in another video. But as far as the grain base goes, it's great. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know how widespread it is to get in Australia at the moment. It's possibly available around the world. I know it's available in Europe. But since it's originally through Boortmalt, so they own Joe White. So it should be available anywhere you can get Joe White malts, which should be just about every brew shop in Australia. They might not have it in stock. I know Beer Co have it in stock by the looks of it. And so if you want to try it, keep in mind it is huskless. At one of the talks I was there, and they said that it's still, can sparge well with it. But I found rice hulls a great help, especially the one that was 100%. That got a bit gluggy. And that was a bit of a workhorse of a brew day. But as you'd expect if you did 100% wheat beer, But because of that diastatic power, I didn't have any problems with the numbers. Because this one was so thick, I didn't sparge too well, so I was a little bit down a couple of points. But the others have been fine. Actually, I have used it in a fourth beer, my honey lager, which is another video coming up. None of these videos are online at the moment for these recipes. They can be. I think one or two of them are I can't tell you which ones, are in my Patreon. And I know the Honey Popper Lager definitely is. And I put a little bit in that. But once I get the time, it takes me a long time to edit recipe videos down to a short length. So I can get them all up if you like. Just drop a comment down below if you want one of the recipes to the beers. If I haven't put them down, the links already, just ask for them. I think that's about it. And I want to thank Bintani for sending me the bag. This isn't a sponsored video or paid review or anything like that. They just, I asked for some of the grain when I was there, or a couple of weeks after I was there, and they sent me some to try. So I did. And I just wanted to make sure to have it in at least 3 beers. There is a 4th beer over there that's in the fermenter that's going to get kegged. Oh, I should have kegged that today, but I haven't. So, but you'll see the video about the Honey Popper Lager very shortly. As I said, the long brew day version of it is on my Patreon at the moment. And thank you to my patrons, because without them I couldn't keep doing these videos. And thanks to everyone for watching. If you found this video good, press the like, or just do it for me. Share the video and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Now I get to drink them all. Oh, I've got to do this yeast comparison video now. So I'm going to go and top them up and do it again. Cheers. It's a bit, is it ironic or not that I've got this shirt on and I'm drinking some hazies? I should say which is my favourite. I'm not going to do the review of the beers now because I'm just about to do that in another video, as I just mentioned. But I really like the lager, and my wife really likes it. My wife wouldn't touch these with a pole, 10-foot pole anyway. But I really like that, the 50-50. It's just got a bite to it. And I know that's a bit to do with probably the fresh Cascade hops from this year that I've used. But it's just got a, to me, there's a honey thing. And it's not so much sweet, even though it's called Cadiz the Sweet, or Cadiz the Sweet. It's that it's got that honey bite. You know how sometimes you have a little bit of honey and it's sweet, but it's also got that bite at the back of your throat? That's what I'm getting from it. That's really nice. Really nice, that lager. And I will be brewing that again. And I might brew... I'm going to make changes to these. I don't mind the recipe, but We'll talk about the yeast in another video. All right, this time I'm going. Bye.